We are about to explode in real estate. I have gotten so good at making calls on the phone that I am setting appointments every single time I go on a cold calling session. I usually try to call about 10 for sale by owners each day if there are new listings in the market that hit that are FSBO, but however, we don't have that all the time. And now we got to talk about the next steps here. The last couple months have been humongous. And although I haven't been able to have contracts signed yet, listings taken yet, I am on the verge of something spectacular. And I'm going to explain why. So with my real estate work, I am now working on a team, which you guys obviously know. I'm working with Kevin. And with working with him, I've been given the opportunities to have excellent systems, great discipline with a schedule that works, scripts that help me make these calls and set appointments, weekly, daily, hourly accountability. Those things are absolutely substantial for my business, and I have made more progress in the last month than I have in the last 5 months of my business. It's been incredible, absolutely incredible. Social media, I'm uploading consistently again. There was a period between December, January mostly, and November where I kind of fell off on social media. Now I'm uploading consistently on Instagram and on YouTube again. Although I'm not uploading every day, I'm keeping you guys in track of what's going on. So this is building momentum for my business, and I'm not giving up on it, even though my financial situation is always stressful until I make consistent income. So what are the next steps? I want to talk about this because I usually talk about the day-to-day activities on these videos, but I want to talk more about what am I going to do? What is the plan moving forward? So I've gotten really good at making calls. We're going to start off with cold calling, and then we'll talk about social media. Then we'll talk about my next plans. So for cold calling, I've gotten really good at pounding the phone, making calls, beep, beep, boop, hello, those sorts of things. Calling random people I don't know, building a good relationship with them on the phone, and then setting up those appointments. I used to set appointments via text, and usually this would be pretty good, but you don't have that relationship building aspect because you can't hear people's voices. It's not a personal experience. Anyone can text something, but not everyone can publicly or vocally say everything that they need to perfectly without getting nervous, right? So much easier to text than to call. And if you're bad at calling, it sucks. That's why I texted for like 3 months, because I was like, calling is ass. Like, everyone's just going to yell at you and tell you to fuck off and all this bullshit. They do not if you have the right scripts in mind. And I do. So I'm able to set appointments up extremely well and often. Now, here's the caveat to all of this. I haven't converted a listing since November with these for sale by owner calls. That is the next step for these cold calling skills. I need to build my skills at the listing appointment. So what am I doing when I'm actually at the seller's house? And how am I presenting my value proposition to them? How am I explaining it to them in a very concise and meaningful manner? Hey, here is how I can help you find a buyer and sell your house quickly while still paying a realtor fee. I haven't been able to do that. I've been very scatterbrained. I talk a lot like I do in these videos. In my last one a couple days ago, I came off very salesman-y, and I just don't like that. So the more I go on these appointments, the more I'm naturally going to be better at making them. And the more I'm going to have a higher likeliness that they're going to take the listing. Nobody else in this office is doing cold calling consistently except me. I'm the only guy that does it. And it's worked so far. I've already gotten a listing in Fortville. And now, I'm setting appointments like it's nothing. And I never thought really that I'd be able to do it this quickly. So the next step for these for sale by owner outreaches is this appointment, converting the appointment set to listings taken. If I can convert that from appointments to listings, I'm going to be making really damn good money this year because I'm doing this a lot. And with the summertime coming by, with the springtime coming by and people wanting to sell their house during these warmer months, with my skills getting so much better, I can imagine that this is going to be a very profitable strategy moving forward. However, it's not going to be forever because social media is going to be the biggest lead generation strategy for me. And I'm going to explain why. So with social media, I do social media a lot different than other realtors. I post about similar stuff on Instagram. I'll post about the local area. I'll show them houses. I'll give them buyer tips, seller tips, open house stuff. But on YouTube, no one else is doing this but me. And my primary strategy on YouTube is teaching people what I've learned and documenting my journey as a brand new young entrepreneur. I want this, what I'm doing right now, I want this to be this is my passion. Real estate is my job, it's my career, it's what I do, but this is what I live for. Teaching people, influencing people, writing books, fiction or nonfiction, that are going to make people feel a certain way, happy, motivated. Maybe they're in the same position as me. Like damning life because parents are divorced, you're broke, like you don't have that stable life maybe that a lot of people did, and you didn't grow up with a lot of money. So you kind of have that chip on your shoulder, and you're like, I need to prove myself. Those are the people I want to speak to. And these videos, I think, are a really good way of me getting towards that. And it just makes me so excited thinking about that stuff. So the plan for social media is very simple. Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, which TikTok I do need to get more consistent on. I just don't use it as a Gen Z. It's really weird. Those are going to be my lead generation websites for buyers or sellers. I'm really trying to hone in on the first-time home buyer just because that is going to be my primary demographic in my social media, just because the people I know are very young and, it's the easiest for me to explain to people, right? So it's something that would be very profitable. This, however, is going to be towards a completely different audience. This is for entrepreneurs. Maybe they're in real estate. Maybe they own a brick and mortar company. It doesn't matter. This is for them, okay? If you want to start a business, if you're young, you don't know what you're doing, you're tired of listening to these gurus that try to sell you courses and all this crap, this is for you. This channel's for you, and when I make it big, I want this to be my main thing. Maybe it's my main way of making money. Who knows? I would like to leverage what I do here so then I don't have to do as much real estate stuff when I get into my 30s, 40s, 50s, right? And even when I'm in my 50s, I'm not going to technically retire. I'm going to be able to do what I love, which is writing, teaching people what I've learned, making videos, all this cool stuff, right? So in the short term, the plan moving forward is still posting on Instagram and Facebook consistently, posting on TikTok because I really need to post on TikTok, and then YouTube, keep making these videos. And when I hit it big, I think that's when these videos are going to start coming to an end. But right now, we still haven't even closed on a transaction. I still haven't even gotten paid. So we got a lot of work to do, a lot more entrepreneurial journey videos in the future. But right now, that's what we're doing. So how about the plans moving forward? What about other lead generation strategies? Open houses, I still do them. I don't love them. I really honestly don't like them just because people are mean when they enter open houses and they like to fuck with you because you're a realtor and they know that you're trying to gain leads from them. And they just get very shitty, and I just don't really like doing them because then you have to drive, put down the signs, and greeting people like that, it's just not my strong suit. I mean, I'm just so much more of a guy that's I'm calling people on the phone than I am meeting them at an open house. Because at least with the for sale by owners, they're motivated. You don't even know what these people are like at open houses. They might already have a realtor, and it's just fuck off, man. You know what I mean? So, with the open houses, I think what I want to do is leverage those, meet people, still do them because, you're wasting time if you don't. And find nuanced ways to get them to sign in. So I have a much better sign-in sheet than I've had in the past. But the problem is I think what I want to do is do a QR code sign-in and make sure that I get notified that they signed in, and then every single field is required of them. So I get their email, I get their name, I get their phone number, I get if they have an agent or not, and then if so, what's their name. If they don't list a name, then I can follow up with them. That's a technologically advanced one that I would like to do several months into the future. So what's the plan tomorrow? I'm actually doing an Ignite training session tomorrow. It's going to be primarily about listings and lead gen, so I'm going to be excited for that. I get a refresher on how to price a house, what to do at the listing presentation, how to fill out a seller net proceed sheet, how to sell and market your listing, lead gen. It's going to be a great time. I get to meet the new agents in the office, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm keeping you guys in tune of what I'm doing. I probably sound a lot more live and awake. It's probably because I'm not, tired at 1 a.m. so I can actually make these videos better, higher quality. But that'll do it. I'll see you guys on the next video. We're still keeping strong at this, okay? I'm not giving up anytime soon. I haven't even thought about it. I just don't make these videos as consistently. But if you guys do want to see daily videos, let me know in the comments, and we can make that happen if people really want to see what I'm doing every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.